Welcome to Club Domingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Let's get the fodder on.
The fodder. Get the fodder out of here.
Let's get the grist going. Get the grist on the griddle.
The Paul Grist. Do you call him Grist or Grist?
Grist.
Grist. Okay. Yeah. So do I. Yeah.
Good. I never even considered that you might have to call him something else.
Do you call yourself McEwen or McEwen? McEwen.
Or McEwen.
And do I call myself Chaloner or Chaloner?
Yes, definitely Chaloner.
Or Chandler?
You must get Chaloner from Americans, surely.
Yes. They always have strange emphasis on their surnames. Yeah.
Emphasis.
Are we recording? We are recording. Hello, everyone.
Hello, kiddies at home.
This is what happens in Club Domingo After Dark. We just stumble around trying to pronounce surnames.
Oh, goodness me. Okay.
So
many things that we started to talk about in our pre-show chats, and I went, no, shut up, let's record that. No, shut up, let's record this thing. It's all grist and fodder.
I don't know what we were talking about, so it's up to you to remember.
Okay.
What are we going to start off with today?
Whatever you want. Like, I've got Greener Pastures Trade Paperback Volume 1 at the printer.
Yeah. You must feel fantastic.
How flippin' amazing is that? Not yet. Jesus, it's like, is there ever a release? Is there ever like a release relief?
When you pick up the proof copies, or you open up that first box and get it out.
I don't think it's the proof copy. I think it's when you've got the actual copies. I'm looking forward to hoping that there is relief at that point, because
So Baden's turning around the print job this week, and you should have copies for Geek Expo in Goulburn this weekend.
That's true.
So this is going to be this Club Domingo is out on Thursday night, so you should have copies maybe by then or by Friday.
Friday, I think. We're recording on Tuesday. I heard from Jeffrey's Printing, where I get it printed, that they should have a proof copy for me to check today, and if there's no issues and they can press go today or tomorrow, I should be fine for picking up at least enough copies for Goulburn on Friday. So we'll be in Goulburn. Let's quickly talk about that. Geek Expo Geek markets. So geek markets are upping their own ante, and
that's painful.
That's right. You have to be flexible, and they've changed their name from Geek Markets to Geek Expo Australia, I think, and they're doing a good, I think, 6 shows this year, and a number of them are regional. So this weekend they're kicking off with Goulburn on Saturday at the Veolia Arena in Goulburn.
That's a load of garbage, isn't it?
Veolia, yeah. I know. Anyway, So this is
the first one in the reformatted Geek Expo branding.
Yes,
exciting.
Yeah, exciting for them. I really wanted to get on board with them from day one. So I'm doing all of the Geek Expos that they've currently got listed, except for the big 2-day one in Canberra, which I'm sure will actually be huge. But I'll be in Fraser Pop in Hervey Bay instead.
Right. Okay. And then in this rollout is the Comic Arts Awards Festival going to be one of them, or is it? Do you know, or is it going to?
No, I don't know. No, nothing's been mentioned about what they're doing with the Comic Arts Festival and Comic Arts Awards. So I don't.
Best left for them to make announcements as they see fit.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I haven't even got any inside track that I'm pretending I don't have. Like I don't know anything. So
neither do I.
We'll see how we go. And if you're coming to Goulburn from Sydney, I'll see you at the Macca's. When whatever that is, halfway there for the Breakfast of Champions, and on the way home I'll see you at Heather Braised Pies for the world's best meat pie, chips, and chocolate milkshake. That's our celebratory meal on the way home. So,
right, excellent. Okay, So now it's time for tea and toast. This is our new segment. Time for tea and toast, but we don't know what the segment is yet.
No, that's right. You have all this branding. So have we got a graphic on the screen now? Is a graphic gone across?
No, hold on. No. That's it.
And the
We'll keep on
steam
using
turns into letters. Time
Yeah.
for tea and toast with Tim and Gary.
Okay.
Just type that into your AI machine. It'll make it for you, I'm sure.
There's a cat hiss. Anyway.
So the trade paperback needs to be ready for me to take on Friday to Geek Expo. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it will be.
And you're seconds away from sending out the digital version to backers?
Yes, I got you to test the digital link this morning, and then we've got on here. So after we get off here, I'll send that. Everybody
the
who
book looks
bought the book,
fantastic. The book looks fantastic.
thank you.
All that hard work in the remastering of the scans is really noticeable compared to someone who may have scanned a page from a printed comic and just to get it out. This is from the original art. It's been tidied up and remastered, and the quality of the scans is amazing. It really adds to the project.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I hope all my long-suffering backers are okay with it as well.
Yeah. Nice cover too. That cover turned out really well. Your new color art on Trevor's face. Yeah, it's great. Yep, lovely.
This is the only thing that may change, I think, is maybe once they've done the print, the proof print, that the spine might not be thick enough. Because I was just saying to you, because we were talking about the paper stock, and this Green Pastures number 8 was about 30 something pages, and this trade paperback's going to be 100 pages plus, a couple more than 100. So if it was 3 times that thickness, I think Baden at Jeffries has told me a spine thickness is just a little bit too thin, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's it is exciting, and it really is a relief to have a PDF, a print ready PDF like that. That is, like, for me, that's a huge hurdle to get to. Print ready PDF. Now get over your fear of there must be something wrong with it, and just send it to the printers
and
get
gone. Exactly. Yeah. If anything gets spotted from here, it can be fixed in the reprint or the next edition. Yeah.
I actually got Anne-Marie to do a proofread of it after I'd done the print ready PDF, and she found one spelling mistake in the text, part of the editorial text somewhere. Huge no prize to the first person who spots that.
You call it a moo prize. A moo prize.
That's right. That's right. A moo prize. But yeah, I'm not going to re-output all of those PDFs because I've already made the digital PDFs and everything.
Yes. So this is a 30th anniversary specific edition, isn't it?
It is, because it should have been out just after the 30th anniversary, and we're now heading into the 32nd anniversary. But that's fine. So the print run, there's the 30th anniversary logo. When this print run is done, that logo will be taken off, and any subsequent print runs will just be without that. So
cool.
I've got plenty for conventions. So if you particularly want the 30th anniversary version, hit me up and I've got them for you.
Yeah, how exciting. Congratulations officially from me.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I won't hit you until weeks down the track when you're sick of looking at the thing.
I think it'll hit me actually at Geek Expo when I've got a different layout on the table, and I'll be having that front and center instead, and really, I always try to sell the first 4 issues of the comic anyway, because it's obviously the right place to start, but now that it's in a really nicely printed little package, it's definitely like the thing I'm going to be trying to sell. Buy this, and if you want the rest of the table as well, absolutely. So
how are your stocks of 567s?
I haven't counted them, but I'm sure I've got hundreds and hundreds of copies. In the garage, there is still boxes of 567. So.
Right. So the pressure of doing volume 2 trade is not really apparent yet.
No, and I'm pretty sure people are going to say, "Cool, when do we get the second trade?" And I'm really not considering that until I've sold through the backstock of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original printings of 5, 6, 7. Of course, to be as mercenary as possible with it, that's free money for me. Every time I sell one of those, like we paid for that 20 years ago,
yeah,
25 years ago. So every time I sell one of those, even if it's only for $3, it's $3 straight into our coffers.
yeah, yeah.
And that's actually something I'm seriously thinking about. So I almost never sell 5, 6, and 7 individually. I almost always sell them as a package. Um, so 5, 6, and 7, because it's a two-parter, and then later that night, um, almost always sell that as a $10 package. And that's like 100 pages just there,
Yeah, yeah.
or nearly 100 pages just there. Um, and it means that I sell a lot of comics, but I don't make much money. And kind of interested in your opinion, Gary. Should I be selling these for $5 a pop each now, or even $10 a pop, which is what all comics kind of go for now?
What
Um,
have you been selling them for?
so that is $10 by itself because it's newly printed, and
Yeah,
that's how much it costs.
so that's the
Um,
sums. But those ones, how much have you been letting them go for?
$3, which is their cover price, or you can get the four of them and seven and a half for $10. So you get four comics for $10.
I'd be
I
inclined,
normally sell them like that. People go, oh, $10 for 100 pages. I'll take that.
I'd be inclined on not messing with a successful formula.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to know.
Yeah,
And what it normally does, really, I mean, I'll be selling the trade paperback for 30, and then if they're interested, they get 100 more pages for 10 more dollars. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'll be able to upsell to $40. And then I'll say, and then if you want the whole table, you just take that for 10 more. So
yeah,
you're getting like nearly 250 pages for $50. So
yeah.
yeah, that'll be the new sales spiel.
Yeah, and you'll
Um,
probably do a reprint of the Volume One trade with new dress and stuff on it with the 30th anniversary. You'll probably reprint that before anything else, really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What we're printing is enough to cover the Kickstarter, and then probably 2 years worth of convention sales. I'm hoping that I'm underestimating, and then we'll
Yeah,
sell it
yeah,
much quicker.
yeah,
But I reckon there's only 2 years worth in that, and then we'll reprint it.
yeah,
Well, I was saying to Amory, because with digital printing, if I was ordering 100 copies, it would cost X amount. And then if I order 200, the unit price actually drops considerably. But the unit price between 200, 300, 400 is actually only incremental. It's not much of a drop,
right.
which means I don't have to shell out for 500 copies or 1,000 copies to get a good unit price. I might as well just go for what is uh, um, comfortable for my bank account, or for Greener Pastures bank account. What's comfortable for that, and what means I don't have to go back to press, every 6 months, which would be annoying. So it's much easier to find that sweet spot now where
Yeah,
you go,
yeah,
oh, just go
yeah,
print
yeah, cool.
300. So I'm printing 300. Unlike crazy, I think like it was really stupid. I printed 1,000 of that. It's going to take me a very long time to get through that.
Mm,
But I really didn't want to go back to press, because of how annoying it would be to continually go back to
yeah,
press,
yeah, yeah,
um, until that whole set is sold out. Because that if when we do a second trade paperback, that's what's in the second one,
yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8, because that basically takes place over I don't know, a 48 or 72 hour period.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that's actually such a good arc, and I don't think Michael actually ever considered it was going to be an arc as such, but it's a really cool little arc. Night at the circus for 2 issues, coming to terms with what happened, the drama at the
yeah,
circus,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then tidying up personally afterwards as well. So yeah, that's a really good little set, and you'll get 7.5 for free.
So on your master universal to-do list, short film, tick, trade paperback of Volume One, tick. Next is Team Up number one.
Hmm. Next is actually fulfilling, and that might take me a week or two. And then
That'll be fulfilling once you get that done.
that's right. That'll be great. And Anne-Marie's actually going to be doing the bulk of that because she's amazing. Um, and and then I've got marking. I've not been looking at almost any emails for a month or two. I've been going to JMC to do my teaching, but I've got a lot of marking to do, and I'm surprised that nobody's yelling at me yet about marking. So the marking's going to have to be done as well. So,
Yeah.
and then Greener Pastures team up #1 featuring Killaroo and Hairbutt the Hippo.
Right. Okay. And team up. You asked me whether I
Oh
was
yeah,
doing the Flash Domingo, Trevor Bovis team up, and we had a story that was going to be planned that we've scripted for 12 pages.
yeah,
And I've got 8 pages of layouts, which I dug up finally.
yeah.
So,
Very cool. And is that how you wrote it? Did you write it in the layouts, or you wrote it as dialogue and now you're transferring that to layouts?
yeah, wrote that as a.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually just read that the other day. That's what brought it to the forefront of my mind. I was looking for something else, and that came up, and I went, "Oh yeah, let me have another read of that." Oh, actually, that's right. It's really good.
Oh, it still hangs together, does it?
Yeah, yeah. The only issue is I don't know if you changed it or not, but you were referring to Trevor as a tax
Oh,
lawyer,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's a HR. No, he's a tax lawyer. No, no, that's right.
Whatever, it was easy to change.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
He's just unhappy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Unhappy and drunk, which is what Trevor does.
So so I've laid out 8 of the 12 pages that I was showing you earlier,
Yeah,
just in 6-page panel grids. But
yeah,
you were saying that you'd take the challenge and do up some of the art yourself.
yeah, yeah. I'll do a page. Pick a page that you think is going to be good to look at. Because kiddies at home, my idea of team up is that I don't do any pencils. I get other people to do the pencils. I might do inks, but the visiting team might do pencils and inks. For example, I'm inking Emmanuel Hernandez's Killaroo story. I'm inking that, and I'm so keen to get onto it. The pencils are great. But the Hairbutt story, Jason Paulus was so ultra keen, which is Jason to a T, that he did the pencils, and then before I could ink it, because it was probably 2 years ago now, he inked it and sent it to me. So that one's all done. So yeah, if we end up doing a Flash Domingo story from your layouts, it's probably the first time that I'll be penciling and inking the story from someone's layouts.
Well, I might be able to work these things up a little bit more than what they are, and complete the pages 9 till 12 as well. And then it's all over to you, and you can finish things off.
Cool. So 9 to 12 kiddies is like morning work time for Gary. So that's when
9 to 12 is also the pages I need to lay out, page 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to you would be working from 9 till 12 on them. Ah, cool. There you go. Serendipity.
Yeah.
So okay,
with a program, McEwen.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, if you give me those layouts, then I'm basically I'm it's not really finishes. You're giving me layouts and then I'm penciling and inking. But if you work them up just a little bit more,
yeah,
then I'll definitely be more like I'm doing finishes.
Yeah.
Which I'd be very comfortable with then. Your sense of proportion and shape, body attitude, etc. Would definitely be in those layouts. But if you refine them enough that I can't get them wrong so easily, that would be great.
Right. Yep. Fair enough. So I'll try and work up Kiwi Calhoun so you don't have to worry about him at all with his totally drunk aspect.
Yes. So I was just referring to that before we hit record as well. Kiwi Calhoun is the bartender at the Australiana Cafe, which is where this story takes place. And Gary's got an extraordinarily idiosyncratic way of drawing Kiwi Calhoun's drunk demeanor, which I think would be difficult to replicate. It's kind of like when somebody tries to replicate Bill Sienkiewicz's Warlock character, because he designed Warlock in a manner that no one else could draw, which is great.
Or Sam Keith's The Max, which is
exactly
another hard one to interpret. Greg Gates drew a backup story for the Jackaroo many years ago now, which is I always reprint because it's in continuity with the story being told. So, and there's a shot of Kiwi Calhoun there from the side, and he avoided the angular. That's him.
Oh yeah.
Made him a real person with a long face and normal arms. But I tend to make him a little bit more stylized.
It's a very stylized illustration that you do. It's got like broken lines and vibration lines, and it's almost a it's definitely an abstraction of the character.
Yeah, of course, he's a barman, but he's perpetually drunk as well. So it's like one glass for you, one glass for me. One glass for you, one glass for me. He's very good at his job, but he's always inebriated.
I don't know how he continues to get his RSA.
Oh, well, it's the Australiana, like brown paper bag under the counter.
Yep. Fantastic. I've hassled you a number of times about where exactly is the Australiana in King's Cross, and you don't actually have a proper address. You reckon it's Kellett, though? Is that right?
Yeah, it's somewhere in Kellett. Yeah, but it's a made-up building, so
yeah.
And the way redevelopment happens, even if back in the '85 that it was a building, it'd probably be knocked down by now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so use your imagination, McEwen.
I don't want to. I want to go visit the real thing.
Imagine having a Disneyland style environment of the Jackaroo, where you walk into the Australiana and there's like fake prostitutes wandering around and fake bouncers and Kiwi Calhoun behind the counter acting drunk and
fake gangsters.
Yeah. That might be an idea that I'll push forward. Actually, that's not bad. Huh?
Yeah, there's money in that. It'd be great to make that robot. That robot from
the Destructo machine.
Yeah, that Destructo machine as a 3D model would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, one of these days, you never know. You never know your luck in a big city.
Cool. You were saying, like we were talking about Kiwi Calhoun and how difficult it is for other people to draw. And then like the Max is similar. It's so ingrained with the style. And Stuart Black, who's doing the Australian comic book trading card set at the moment, had a lot of trouble with Flash.
Yeah. I noticed I don't know whether you've seen recently, but Jason Paulos chimed in on that thread to sort of suggest things to fix the Flash figure.
Right.
There's nothing intrinsically wrong with the figure. It's just interpreted by a different artist. But he is a difficult character to draw. That's for sure.
Yeah. I find like it would take me some practice. The couple of times I've drawn Flash, it's the beak that is difficult, and especially because you don't want it to look like a Daffy Duck beak, because it's not. It's a platypus.
Yeah.
But that it's like drawing a hat. Like hats are difficult because they're organic shape and they're in 3 dimensions, and the beak and where to put it and how it works is actually pretty hard. I found the rest of the proportions, like after a few sketches, easy enough to get my head around. Is like he's got a good pear-shaped dumpy body and very cylindrical everything else. But yeah, it was the beak that was hard.
Yeah, and you're right.
Are you there? Have you frozen? No.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking of it takes a little bit to warm up to get Flash right from multiple angles, but it does happen. You just, poor old Stuart, he's doing one
even
card.
for you.
No, I'm used to it now. It's all sort of like muscle memory for me now. But I feel sorry for someone having to draw Flash for a one-off project, which means getting in the groove of solving all the problems of drawing Flash properly, and then you never draw him again because you finished the one you need, and all that learning's gone out the door. So maybe now would be a good time to talk to Stuart about doing a Flash Domingo series. Because he's
absolutely there we go.
Anyway. So it's nice.
And Stuart's one of these guys in Australian comics who pumps out like series after series after series. Like he's obviously drawing lots. So maybe he'd like to do a Flash Domingo series.
too much. I've got too much on my mind. Nice idea, but it'll be down the bottom of the list. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm.
Yeah. So I asked a bunch of people in Australia who have got anthropomorphic characters uh, years ago to be involved with Greener Pastures team up. I thought I would start with the anthro characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if I haven't asked, if Kitty's listening at home, if I haven't asked you, that's no slight. That's just, I've kind of just been asking people here and there. But if you're interested in having your character in Greener Pastures team up, you should reach out and let me know, because I'm keen to get as many backstory stories in the back catalog as possible, so I can just get them out, every in between each normal Greener Pastures. But I asked you, Gary. I asked for Flash Domingo. I asked Ryan for a Dear Editor story. Steve Stamatiadis for a Blade Kitten story. Big Tim Styles for a Knockabout Guy. Killaroo, obviously, and Captain Congo. So two gorillas there, two gorillas in that mix.
And Jason Borlos, of course.
Yeah, well, Jason came after, actually. Once everything was starting to come together, I started to reach out to a few other people as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
cool.
yeah, of course, Jason you can ask last, and he'll be in first because he's that quick.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, it's shaping up actually to be a good project, good fun project.
Cool. And do you have any, is it a finite number, or are you just going to keep that open-ended based on content that you get?
Yeah, that's going to keep going.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once I've got enough kind of good, stories to show around, I'll be sending PDFs to Jeff Smith and Mike Mignola and blah blah blah, asking them to take part. I'm going to keep it going for as long as possible. It's good fun. This is why I want the visiting team to do a lot of that work. Yeah, what's going on?
I have my lovely wife saying something to me.
Into the shop.
Oh, okay. See you in a little while.
In a little while.
In a little while. Okay.
See you, Belle.
Bye. Love you, Tim.
Love you too.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
Yes.
It's her dulcet tones.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah, she's off doing some SES work. She does
Nice.
SES volunteering. And so, yeah, today she's away from her usual work and she's putting hours in at SES. So, yeah.
Not all heroes wear capes. Thanks for keeping us safe, Belle.
But all heroes wear orange.
All heroes
Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Sorry, team up.
Everything. That was I think we were just wrapping up on team
Yeah,
up.
right. Okay.
That was not about that enough
Yeah,
now.
cool. Okay. What's next? You got anything written down there to discuss for today?
You know what? We'd rattled on so much beforehand that I didn't really get my act together to have stuff to talk to you about.
We do have those emails to read out from people who have
yeah.
emails from last week about yes. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, before we start, I should have shown you this weeks ago. So this is Lelay's Canon book that I picked up.
Isn't that an interesting trim size?
Chunky as, yeah.
Square.
Yeah, it's not quite square.
Yeah, not quite.
Square. Beautiful design back and front.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's thick as.
And who's the publisher again?
So the publisher on this one is Giramondo.
Right. Yep. Lovely.
And beautiful black and white illustrations throughout.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Mostly in that 4-panel format.
Yeah.
Which I've said before in the show. I would love to have a crack at that for a small project. Oh, and then we move into color. Nice. So yeah, I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm pretty keen. And this is Lee's like, what do you call it, signing. So when I bought it, the signing, they drew that for me, which is fantastic. So that's what people get.
Well, what does it mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was cool. So that was like from a couple of weeks ago. There was a number of events going on. The other one included Oh Brother from Georgina Chatterton. Yep. Georgina Chatterton, Gina, George Rex. She goes under so many names.
Chatto.
Shadow. Is that right? Shadow.
No, me, myself, and my shadow.
And I got a little
Tim, you
drawing in
bloody
there as
legend.
well.
I hope you enjoy the book. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's
Colour.
autobiography.
I didn't realise it was
Yeah.
colour. There you go. That looks stunning. And a
Yeah.
bookmark as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That looks very lovely.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Mm.
So
All these
yeah,
people getting out and about and doing their thing.
yeah. Comes with an activity pack.
Ah,
Yeah, looking at defacing that.
yeah. Colouring in.
And then while I was out and about in like Newtowny way, I went to Gould's bookshop and I finally picked up these from Steve Ditko, Mr. A and the Avenging World,
Yeah, right.
which is very much Steve Ditko's um,
Yep,
uh,
yep.
philosophy comics, talking about philosophy of good versus evil. So rather than making comic books about superheroes and supervillains, he actually, talks very, very directly about good versus evil and what does it mean. So
Right.
interesting comics. And to be honest, these have been sitting at Gould's Comics probably since 1973, which is what the date on this one is.
And Gould's is still going. Where is it these days?
Yeah, they're in Newtown now. They've got a tiny little shop in Newtown. Not, no, I suppose it's not that tiny. But if you're a Sydney person, you know of the enormous giant Gould's bookshop that was up the city end of Newtown for years, and they closed that down a few years ago and moved to a much smaller shop, much further up the other end
Right.
uh, of Newtown. So they used to have lots of comics. Now they don't have so many. But yeah, this one, Avenging World, is more of that
Yeah, right. Yeah.
kind of. So
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
but I've seen like I was going to say ever since I was a kid going to the big Goulds and going to their shop across. I think it was their saying that they owned the shop across the road from the Hoyts on
Yeah,
George Street in
yeah,
Sydney.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I looked at these every time I went and never bought them. So the last time I was there, I thought, oh, I'm just going to buy them. They've been calling me for years and years and years. So yeah, pretty heavy going to
Yeah, right.
read. I haven't
Yeah,
read them yet. I'm actually not s- specifically looking forward to reading them because they look to me like they're pretty heavy going. But it's a very different methodology of using um, the the form. So I'm
yep,
pretty keen
yeah,
to dig into that and just
yeah.
just to
Nice to
see
flick
how
through.
he experimented.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, last week we posed the question for us to discuss what does success look like. And so we put it out for our viewers to submit emails, and we got a couple of replies. So, shall we have a bit of a read? You don't check your emails, do you?
I
So,
do. I read actually, you're right. I haven't been like doing much, but uh yes, I read those two. We got two, right? You sent on two to
yeah,
me.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Um,
cool.
so the first one we got here from good old Tony Menzie,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to read it verbatim, and we can respond accordingly. But g'day, Gary and Tim. In response to your question from this week's episode, which is actually last week's episode, my perception of success has changed radically in the short time I've been back in the art game. 9 years ago, when I picked the pen back up after a hiatus of 30 plus years, wow, I was happy just to get a few likes and comments on social media. My next rung on the metaphorical success ladder was getting commission requests and cover art gigs for other people's IPs. Over the past few years, my passion has turned towards my own original creations. The sense of accomplishment in creating something from the ground up, characters, costumes, environments, history, etc., is so much more fulfilling than drawing endless images of Batman, Spider-Man, and whatever else is the current flavour of the month in the pop culture zeitgeist. So right now, success to me looks like creation without constraints from outside agents and getting my first art book into print. Thanks again for the invaluable advice. Read this back in advice that we gave back in episode 50. That was so long ago. All the best, Tony.
Yeah, fantastic.
So he's come full circle, not full circle really, but he's gone through the whole gamut of what he wants to get out of this game that we're in, and he's now doing his own thing, which I think is pretty common with a lot of people as well.
Yeah. And yeah, we Tony wrote to us and we replied to him in issue 50 where he was talking about art books because he's going to do an art book.
Ah, right. Okay, that rings a bell. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for reminding.
And I think during that episode, I called him Tony Menzies with an S on the end. Sorry about that, Tony. Tony Menzies.
Tony
Only one,
Mendy. Yeah.
only one Menzies, not
And
multiple Menzies.
the other reply on the subject that we got was from John Hanna, which was great to hear from John. Love his stuff. And he writes again. I'll just read it out verbatim. My idea of success is sustainability. If I can cover my costs for making comics with selling comics, then I consider myself successful. The money I make from conventions and online feedback in to support print runs, table costs, travel expenses would need to afford me to continue making comic stories. Making a big profit is not the goal, but enough to be sustainable and for a bit of growth is ideal. If it became an endless money pit where I just spent and spent and spent with no end in sight and gaining nothing in return to support it, then there would come a time when the cost outweighs the love, and I feel I would need to give it up. A constant deficit is nothing but depressing, and unfortunately, there's more to life than making comics. But there is.
Who is this man?
Yeah. If it pays for itself, then I can go on making and telling the stories I want to tell forever, and that would be success in my eyes. That's very good. Yeah. The thing that I'd like to actually stress there with what he's written is that going to conventions on a regular basis, as you are aware, table costs and travel expenses and parking and food, it's such it's not a hidden cost, but puts such a big dent in your wallet that it really, really is amazing.
Yeah.
So expensive to do that, particularly when you're trying to do it on a circuit base where you're hitting a certain number of shows across the year, which again you've experienced yourself.
Yeah, I think with John there, he's definitely hitting an interesting um, uh, business model for his table when he goes, because he's got so much stuff now that you almost can't walk away without buying something, because there's all sorts of different stories to be told. So and gathering fans, when they read one, they've got heaps of other stuff that they come back and buy the next time. So very clever in that regard. And John's one of these guys who, like Stuart, we were mentioning earlier, who's just pumping out pages constantly, and it's all quality as well. It's not like he's pumping out crap. So, so there's that. But you know what? When I read John's email, there's nothing in there that I disagree with. I definitely don't disagree. But I think a discussion point is that we are definitely looking at it through a commercial lens, right? So as a example, say I was in the cars instead of comics, right? And I bought a car well, what do you call it? You know, to do up, to refurbish or whatever you call it. And then I wanted to take it to car shows to show it off. There's no money in any of that, and it would cost me thousands, maybe tens of thousands, if it was a vintage car or an old car. And that would be my hobby. My hobby would be to buy a car, spend every waking moment that I can doing it up, making it look amazing, making it run well, taking it to car shows, showing it off, letting people take photos with it, having people tell me how great it is, and I come home and feel like that was a great day because I've spoken to other car enthusiasts and looked at other cars as well. And it costs me money. I'm driving to Goulburn for a car show. I'm driving to Canberra for a car show, etc., etc. And there's no money in it, but it's what I love to do. So I personally kind of relax into that every so often, and it's only because we, as comic makers, often associate the commercial aspect of comics, the fact that until somebody reads it, it's not worth anything. And if we're going to print it for reading, then all of a sudden we want to be making a profit, or at least covering our costs, right? While I'm pretty sure there's heaps of people in the Australian scene who don't even cover their costs, who go to shows and make a loss each time, but they want to make comics and they want to get it into the hands that they can get it into, and I rest easy in that being the fallback position if I don't end up covering my costs long term. In all honesty, what John said is exactly what I really want to do. I want to at least cover my costs
Mm.
to go to Goulburn. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to cover the petrol costs going to Goulburn, but we'll see. Um, and uh, and yes, I would like it to make enough money that I feel comfortable sitting at the drawing board for days on end drawing. Um, but I'm pretty sure that if I was making mini comics out of what I was making and not making any money out of it, I would still be doing it.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a bit of a kind of a divide there.
Mm. And I'd throw into the mix as well that some people are better at doing the pop culture expos and the art shows and standing behind a table and representing their work. Some of them are better at it than others, or find themselves being uncomfortable doing that aspect of your art and promoting yourself
Yeah,
is sometimes not easy.
yeah,
I've never felt comfortable doing it. It's a very unpleasant experience for me
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it.
Sales is hard.
Yeah,
If you sit next to me at a convention or a festival or a fair, you would know what my spiel is because I've got it down and I can just say it and I can say it with truthful uh, enthusiasm. But it's like this is what I say about it every time. I'm just going to say it again and again. And
yeah,
once you kind of relax again into that rhythm of being able to give the elevator pitch. It's not so bad. It's not
yeah,
so hard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then if you've got them on the hook, then you can just start chatting more about other aspects when you understand if they're interested in the literary aspects or the visual aspects or the production aspects, and you can just, start talking about stuff like that.
Yeah. When you divulged over the last couple of months, year, some of the costs involved, the parking and traveling and the response, the things you got to think of to make an appearance at a show,
Yeah.
it really is. It was quite shocking to me because I've been out of the loop as far as going to
Yeah.
conventions and stuff for quite a few years. But those costs, particularly now, as you mentioned, with petrol costs going through the roof,
Yeah.
that makes the whole thing quite daunting.
Yeah. Yeah. We're definitely, like I said earlier, we're definitely listed to be going to Geek Expo Albury Wodonga and Geek Expo Wagga Wagga, but it's like if this war keeps going and the petrol prices kind of go through the roof, or there's rationing, probably more to the point, if
Yeah,
there's rationing, we probably won't be able to go. Like it'll be like, how can I justify, 2 tanks of petrol or whatever it's going to be
yeah,
to get to Wagga Wagga and back?
yeah.
So they're kind of up in the air at the moment. So yeah, there is a a thought process behind it. Are you going to cover your costs or aren't you? And how important is that to you? And taking it back to the subject at hand, is that part of what you think of when you think
Mm,
of
success.
success?
Yeah,
We were talking earlier about the relief of getting the trade paperback done, or the relief of picking up Greener Pastures #8 when I picked that up, and that pretty much feels to me like the most successful part of the journey every time. Oh my God, it's real.
mm,
I'm holding the book in my hand. Um, and then I was looking at the spreadsheet with the sales that we've done over the last 3 years or whatever at conventions once I got back on the convention circuit. And there's definitely been conventions where we've been very, what I would call financially successful because
hmm
it was, in Sydney and a huge crowd and sold lots of comics and, I was a guest, which means it didn't cost me for the table, et cetera, et cetera. So financially, sometimes they're successful, and sometimes it's like a wasted day where you go backwards financially
yeah,
as well.
right.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
And
a
then,
thing that we have to consider. Yeah,
yeah, and in these times of rising petrol costs, not only does it add to the costs for you setting up, but it also affects how many people actually go to the show as a punter and the money that they have to
absolutely.
spend. You might be able
Yeah,
to still take your family, but there might be a little chat outside the front gates going, "You can look, but don't buy anything. We can get you
yeah,
in, but
yeah,
don't buy anything because we
yeah,
just
yeah,
can't afford it." And
yeah,
that's the double-sided coin of being affected by costs going up.
yeah. Just chatting to somebody during the week online, about Australian comics and going to Goulburn, and they're saying, yeah, like the uh, um, price of living at the moment is, this is now actually starting to bite pretty hard.
Mm, mm.
So, and comics are possibly one of the least important things, But I'm hoping that if people are coming to a convention, that maybe they'll want to buy comics. So,
Yeah. And comics history, that's been quite funny that they sell a little bit better in tough times. I don't know whether that's still the case because of the unit price being, so expensive it has to justify itself. But back in the day when, the Marvel and DC trends, when there was a depression or some sort of, downturn, comic sales actually went up as a form of entertainment. I don't know whether that's still valid or not, but interesting. Yeah.
I'll let you know next week.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And again, Amber and I just enjoy the day out and the trip and the people that we hang out with. When we go to, I must have already said this on the show. I think when we go to Wagga Wagga and Albury Wodonga, we'll be making a weekend of it and hanging out. And in fact, we were looking. Actually, I was looking, and then Anne Marie went, "Oh yes, I'll have a look as well." We were looking to see if I think she said in the end it might be easier with Albury Wodonga rather than Wagga Wagga, but we're looking to see if we did a round trip from Sydney to the convention and then Cucumgilliga and then home. So we might actually go and have a drive through Cucumgilliga for real, which is in central New South Wales. Again, I haven't been there since 1990, whatever. So yeah,
cool.
Probably later than that, but yeah, I haven't been there for years.
Right.
See if the signage is still there. See what we can see.
Yeah. Well, whether they've sold out and when they found out that there was a movie being made.
That's right. Yes.
There's a big luxury resort, a theme park, Greener Pastures theme park.
Oh my God, I can only hope. Isn't that the dream, to find someone you can sue so that you can make lots of money?
Yeah. Well, they're suing you for using Cucumgilliga or the other way around?
No, the other way around. They've made the theme park without getting my permission.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The other email that we got was from our mystery man, Rook.
Oh, I haven't seen this. Oh, this is from a few weeks ago now.
Yeah, I think so. I thought I forwarded it to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
On the subject of variant covers in general, we've expressed our opinions on variants and Kickstarter campaigns and different additions to campaigns. So again, I'll just read what Rook has written here. He or she didn't divulge any more details on who they are. But anyway, hi, Gary and Tim. I enjoyed hearing both your thoughts on variant and blind bagged covers. I am interested in hearing your thoughts on some of the other kinds of covers, like charity covers, covers with special covers whose proceeds go to charity. And then he attached a Jim Lee Batman Superman cover whose proceeds went to various humanitarian aid organizations, or store exclusive covers, comics that are bulk ordered with exclusive, pre-approved and unique cover art only to be sold via a specific outlet or retailer. Then he attached an example of Nicola Scott's Wonder Woman cover, which is a King's Comics exclusive, number 750 Wonder Woman. That's quite a lovely cover. Have either of you ever done a charity or store exclusive covers before? I certainly haven't. And is there a cover trick you haven't tried yet and would like to, e.g. invisible ink, glow in the dark, rub the blood, thermal reactive, etc., etc.? And he says, P.S. I'm looking forward to joining Club Domingo Club. More news on that when we think of it. Anyway, so have you ever done a store exclusive or a charity cover?
No, I haven't. The store exclusive covers sound inviting, though. That would be cool. And again, because digital printing is so easy now, it's not a big deal to print 300 interiors and then only 250 covers and then 50 separate covers. That's pretty easy to do.
Did I say that I haven't done an exclusive? Because the Adventure Illustrated #2 had the Oz Comics exclusive cover with Killaroo and Flash.
True.
Yes, that's the only one that I've done. Yeah.
So what made that exclusive?
That it was only for Oz Comics to sell, for Daz to sell through.
So you can only buy that from Darren Close.
Yeah.
Or on the Kickstarter? Did you offer it on the Kickstarter?
Yeah, that was a different tier. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that campaign, that element of it was done in cahoots with a Killaroo campaign that was being run at the same time as well.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you have done an exclusive.
Mm.
So I know Impact Comics in Canberra. I think they've done a number of those, not a huge number, but a few of those kind of covers. I think they did one with John Summer River recently. Oh, for Dear Editor. They did one for Dear Editor. I'm pretty sure that you could only buy that in Canberra and maybe only at the signing. I'm not sure.
That's the Ryan K. Lindsay project.
Yeah, the Ryan K. Lindsay comic Dear Editor. And yeah, the other thing is that I feel like they've been cheapened recently, the whole idea of the store exclusive cover, because they end up doing a generic cover and then just putting the logo of the store in a particular place. So whether it's Crazy Comics in Iowa in America, or it's King's Comics in Sydney, Australia, it's actually the same cover but just with the logo on it, and it's like
right.
I find that to be like not very appealing to me. But if it's a complete cover that you can that is very much unique to the store, I would love to do that.
Mm.
But as the publisher, as the creator, that would mean that the store is basically paying for a commission. They're not just going to buy the comic unless they have to buy 1,000 copies or something, because otherwise it's not worth my time sitting at a drawing board and then in Photoshop for 3 days to do that cover.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when you're doing, I'm not sure how it works. So when you're doing something like a Nicholas Scott had done with Wonder Woman, that's all done via DC in their promotions department.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Coordinating a separate cover to get shipped down to a retailer in Australia.
Yeah.
It's all done via the Americans. Yeah.
And again, that definitely has a minimum. You have to buy a minimum of X amount of copies, and that's how they boost the sales on a particular issue, is by giving you this incentive.
Yeah.
When like this is where the shops have to, like, I don't know, is it like junk bonds or whatever? But they have to buy, and I'm picking a figure out of my head. They have to buy 300 copies of that Nicholas Scott cover, knowing they're only going to sell 50, maybe 100. But they can't get that 50 or 100 if they don't buy 300. And it's like, again, it rubs me the wrong way. I feel like the one that was done with Dear Editor with Ryan K. Lindsay, John Sommer River at Impact Comics, I feel like that was probably, there'll only be a certain number. Possibly, am I remembering this right? That possibly you had to pre-buy it, like you had to pre-order it to have it. So I think that they were probably printing them almost to order, which for me would feel a lot more comfortable, sustainably, both environmentally and financially, that you're not asking somebody to buy a bunch of things that they're not going to be able to sell.
Yeah, right. And as far as special effects on covers, like foil covers and stuff, that I haven't really done any of those. The only one that I can speak to is I did a back cover that had some glow in the dark elements to it for Chris Sequeira for a Pulse of Darkness trade paper trade. And that was quite fun getting that back with a bit of a glow in the dark ink effect on there. But other than that,
did you design the parts that glow in the dark?
No, that was all done in production by someone else.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
cool. It was pretty.
I've seen that. What was that? Oh, that was for the.
It was an old horror series that he produced back in the late 80s, I think, and he collected it together. Pulse of Darkness with it was a horror series. Who was the artist? Kurt Stone, I think.
Yeah.
And Kerry Kennedy, I think, might have been a letterer, or it could have been Kurt Stone's lettering as well. But anyway, so it was a collection of that.
Oh, right. So did you do an illustration specifically for the collection?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Turned out being a back cover illustration.
Right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that was quite fun because I wasn't expecting it to come back as my sample copy, and it was glow in the dark. It was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've not done anything special like that. I'm just trying to think if I'm misremembering, but no, I don't think I have. I've feel like I've got one sitting here, do I? No, I don't. I don't know why I thought there was one sitting here, but I did. We've done some charity comics, not charity covers as such, but I've spearheaded the Tides of Hope charity comic for when
That's
there were
right. Yeah,
floods
yeah,
about,
yeah.
I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago,
Yep,
which you contributed to and a bunch of other people contributed to.
yeah.
Sold that, and all the profits went to flood relief. And I contributed to the Australia
Charlie
Burns
Burns. Yeah,
anthology.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, all of the money for that went to fire victims of some fires. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, cool. And so that's it for the emails. So if anyone still has opinions about what success means to them or anything that they'd like to talk to us about, drop a line at the email clubdamingo@cyclonecomics.com.au, and yeah, we'll read it out and have a discussion.
Yeah, fabulous. That's
Mm.
great that people are writing in with some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it for me on my to-do list for the show today.
Right. How long have we got left?
Any time from now is nice to wrap it up. We don't have to have a
Cool.
long show.
So I'll just quickly talk about an exhibition that's on right now.
Oh, the Gleno one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gleno.
yeah.
So Glenn Smith, affectionately known as Gleno, who comes from that era of mini comics. The kind of group that he was with was so Gleno Smith and Ben Hutchings and Ross Tesoriero, Anton Emden, other people whose names I'm probably forgetting, were kind of all making mini comics at the same time. And Glenn is a really pretty amazing printmaker, mostly in lino cut. Um, and his current illustration style, because he doesn't do a lot of comics now, but he does a lot of illustration. His current illustration style almost feels like lino cut, the
Right.
black versus white aspect of it. Um, almost feels like lino cut. But when he does do lino cut, it's actually really lovely work. And he's teamed up probably 2 years ago now with Reg Mombassa of Mambo fame and Mental as Anything and etc. Dog Trumpet. Um, so they become really good friends, which is lovely as well. And Reg does the illustration, and then Glenn converts that to a lino cut.
Mm.
And then they do some limited prints of it. So limited print of the actual lino cut, but also digital prints. So the lino cut printing is black on white, and then digital printing where the line work is all black, and then Glenn is doing a bunch of digital coloring to it as well. But
Right.
they're all beautifully archivally printed as well, and limited numbers as well. So they've done a few exhibitions. They're traveling it around on and off over the last couple of years to to exhibit it and to continue to show the work, continue to sell the work as well. Like I said, there's a good maybe 20 designs, and each one of those has got multiple limited prints.
Right.
And then on top of it,
what gallery was it on at?
so it's at the it's the Hurstville. I just brought up the paperwork, and I can't remember where I dumped it over here. It's at the Hurstville. Yeah, the Hurstville Museum and Gallery.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's on for a little while. So that's an
Oh, that's
example.
lovely. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's lovely.
they're really nice work, and you can see the overlap between Reg and Glenn, and it's called "Still Losing the War." The war on nature is the overall theme,
Right. Right.
and that's on from the 7th of April to the 17th of May. So you got quite a bit of time to go. It's a free exhibition. And it's a nice little museum and gallery in Hurstville that I'd never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of other interesting, nice things to see there as well. But I
Yeah.
went to the opening, as did the rest of the McEwen clan, to catch up with Glenn and his partner Gina, who we love them both dearly. And I saw Ross Tesoriero there, which is great. I saw Michael Graham. Do you remember Michael Graham's
Yeah,
comics?
I was about to drop his name actually as one of the gang.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was there, which was great to see him as well. And when we were talking about what we're working on, and I dropped the Greener Pastures team up idea he said, "I'll be in on that." So I'm hoping to get a at least a one pager from Michael Graham as well. But he's got really interesting, very underground feeling
Yeah,
comic
right. Yeah,
artwork.
yeah,
Um, So the other thing with this is there's not just the lino prints and the digital prints, but they also print bolts of cloth. So they do a specific design that will repeat well as cloth, and you can actually buy the cloth and make whatever you want out of it, which is really beautiful. But they also had bags for sale, like tote
yeah,
bags, and
yeah.
not like just a canvas tote bag, like really nicely made with lining in it and etc. Beautifully made. So yeah, and they said eventually they're going to take the uh, the cloth that's left over and start turning them into board shorts as well.
Right. But
So
was there
it's almost that Mambo kind of sensibility, but there it's DIY, so it's
was there
fantastic.
tea towels there as well from the cloth?
Yeah, there was tea towels. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, all of that stuff. So it's a cool little exhibition. I guess it's comics adjacent, but Reg has done comics in the past as part of his practice when he wants it to be.
Hmm.
And Gleno's definitely done comics. And
Yeah,
between the two of them, they go by the name of Greg, capital G, capital R, lowercase e, lowercase g. So it's Glenn and Reg, Greg. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at there. So that was really great. It was a great little afternoon to go and hang there for a couple of hours and chat to
yeah.
people.
Cool. Was it a good turnout?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Reg doesn't stick around for too long. I think his ability to be around people, like he runs out of battery energy pretty quickly.
I
Um,
know the feeling.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was great to see him in the flesh as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was cool. Um, I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about, just really briefly, is if you're on Facebook, because I don't know that they've got a an Instagram account, but if you're on Facebook, look up Art by John Mackenzie. So that's Mckenzie. So the name of the page is Art by John Mackenzie, and they're doing some really incredible comics work at the moment.
Hmm.
Really cartoony, but not like too many other things I've seen in the past. He's doing some wacky barbarian story. And it looks incredible. And you can see there's limited color choices.
Yeah, nice.
Really nice, bold work and bold storytelling. And he seems to be knocking out 3 to 4 pages a week of what I
Nice.
guess is going to be a graphic novel. Um, it's a really exciting thing to see come together. I love the look of it. It looks like it's got a great story sensibility to it. So I'm keen to get that when it finally happens. But follow that guy on Instagram and sorry, on Facebook, uh, and see what you get out of that.
Yeah, good recommendation. Yes.
I found Mandy Ord had gotten sensitive creatures
Mm.
translated to French.
Oh, sacre
Here in the week
bleu.
as well. So that's happening for Mandy as well, which is great. You can see this is my note-taking methodology is just to do a screen
Screenshot.
cap.
Screen.
Yep. Don't forget about it. And this is somebody else that we haven't talked about on the show, and I haven't read any of his work yet. But Jake Minton, yeah, Jake Minton. This book Inked, which is
Right.
I guess middle grade book, but in comics form. He illustrated, and it's been winning heaps of awards. So that's the Abia Awards, whatever that is. Um, so he didn't write it, but he drew it,
Right.
and that's one of like maybe 3, 4 awards that it's earned recently. But the thing that really made me decide that I would show it off is that he's also had it translated into another language as well.
Uh,
So it looks pretty thick, right? That
yeah,
spine looks
yeah,
pretty thick
yes.
as well. So yeah, there's all of this great stuff happening in Australian comics that
Very energizing, isn't it?
yeah, that you don't necessarily know of or hear about.
Yeah, as Belle would say to me all the time, get amongst it, Chal, get amongst it.
Get amongst it,
You,
Chal.
you say more comics more often, and I say get amongst it, Chal. Get in there and start punching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get into that grudge. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let's get amongst it. That'll do us for today.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna press the right button here.
More comics more often. Let's go.
Oh, not that again. God.
Such a smooth exit. This is how you leave all the parties, Gary. You stumble over the rug and then leave a half a meat pie on somebody's shirt.
Okay, I am pausing recording now. Let's try that again. See you, everyone.
See you later. More comics more often. Bye.